Hey, what's going on? It's Beowulf. Man, I got a Hellcat video today. So, if you're not familiar with the Hellcat, what the gauges look like, from 2015 to 2019, the center gauges have been the same, but the monitor screen has changed what the picture's like. So what I'm going to show in this video is kind of what can the gauges do in a Hellcat than the other cars. I mean, the cool thing, I don't know if you guys can see, but see this lights up in red, the SRT. Now that's from the 17s and up with having that option. The first 2 years they couldn't have that. So that's kind of a cool thing at night. It lights up and it's red. I think it looks so cool. Now let's go through what the gauges are. So now you have kind of like different specs with gauges. So here we're getting the intake air temperature. It's going to rise because we're sitting and not moving. See the next one. So this would show like engine and torque. So that'd be the engine foot-pounds of torque. And this will be engine power. And then you have an air-fuel ratio, which is pretty cool to have that come standard on a vehicle. And it obviously changes, you know, when you're hitting the gas, letting off. Then you got boost pressure, intercooler temperature. It has the tire pressure monitor system showing what the air is in every tire. And that's what's so cool having a car that's red. It looks pretty much like, you know, what's showing on the pictures. Here's the coolant temperature, the trans temperature for the transmission, oil temperature for the engine, oil pressure, and the oil life. You can reset that by holding the reset button on the OK. The battery voltage. It's kind of cool because it like the retro gauges looking similar to what the gauge cluster is. I think it kind of gives that really cool modern retro look. Now let's go up to the other thing. You can have this set in kilometers or miles per hour, having the big speed, the diagnostics on it. This sets up the screen, so like different things like the top, like the current miles per gallon, or what's the top, which is the range till I'm empty, temperature, can be changed to different things. You can even take it off too where you don't see what the miles are on your vehicle, which is pretty cool. So like, that's kind of cool where you can change the bottom. If you had like a high mileage car, you don't have to be sitting there looking at how many miles you got. This could store messages, audio. So I'm using CarPlay right now. I got Cypress Hill on. You got your trip info. The fuel economy, like who really cares when you're driving a Hellcat what you're getting. Now this is the performance pages. So this is pretty neat. So this shows, and the problem is this is not accurate. It's actually faster than what says on the gauge shows up there from what I've done when I've gone to tracks and whatnot. But it resets, and that's kind of cool to have something like that. It has like the braking distance, and then the G-force, so that's kind of cool. Like when you're turning or braking or accelerating, what it shows the G's. So it shows like what the max the vehicle's ever done. So acceleration I've done over 1.14 G, 1 G braking force. You got the lap timers if you're like on a road course, autocross, and then you can have your lap history. It's just top speed, 180 miles per hour. Now I want to say is when I got the car, it had it on there. Since I'm saying I did 180, but when I bought the car, it said 180. So if anybody's trying to go at me think I'm doing 180 on the street, no, it came like that. So. So you have your reaction time 0 to 60. So it says the best, it's been 3.3 seconds. 0 to 100. The 8th, 7.4. And let's go up to the next pages. This says, again, the vehicle info. So that's kind of what the basic of the gauge cluster. Now, I'm pretty positive all the Hellcats are the same with this. And then same with the Demon, it has different things there, different color gauges. Now the cool thing is you can change the background on the 2017, so I have like a projected down a Hellcat. But here you press like the SRT button, and then it'll show like the different modes, and all of a sudden it starts on the fly changing stuff. You can do custom. My custom one is like for rain, so when I'm stuck in the rain, street traction. But I like how the transmission shifts and the suspension, I always leave it in track. And it has this default, this is how it starts. You cannot change this. It's just default how it starts. People have said in videos like change it, and maybe you could change what the, see, you can't change out any of this stuff. So the default is just stuck, it's just stuck in all this stuff. And that's how it just automatically starts. You cannot change it out of there. So you have the eco, which I'm obviously in right now. You have like valet, you put a code in, you can pick it, and then like the thing will be all locked up so people can't do stuff. You got the race options, you got the launch control, you can set this, I mean you can crank it up 3,500 RPMs and poof, go flying. You got shift lights you could set up, you know, I don't need kind of stuff like that. But then you have other cool things is like you have the CarPlay, the Apple thing, so it kind of shows up stuff with your phone or whatnot. You got like the standard navigation, the controls for heated seats and whatnot. Then you got your apps, so it's kind of cool. Like I like this one too, like if you're traveling and whatnot, like it shows it what the weather's going on, so it's kind of cool. It can show up like fuel prices. And look how cheap the gas is out here in South Carolina. Woo! You can't beat that. Under $2. And I think that's premium too. Let's see what other ones we got here. Well, you press the launch one too, so that puts it right in there. I think there's, we go into S, then we go on performance pages. That's what I was wanting to listen to. All right, so this is cool. Now I've had always on my 17, it takes a little bit to load. On my Jeep SRT, I kick in a performance page and it moves really fast. I'm not sure why. It's always been like that since I've owned the vehicle. It's very slow to load these in. So that's kind of the hard thing when you're at the track. You know, if you're in a hurry to, you know, load it up. But so you can change like the different pictures of the car. That's kind of cool to have on your screen. Just the wheels don't match to what mine are, but I think the only color they come in is red. So it's kind of cool when you own a red car. You're pretty close to, you know, what it is. So here you got timers. This is almost like a time slip. You can pull up like the best, your last, your current, and I think you can print those off on one of Dodge's sites. So here you can have all the gauges pulled up. So it's kind of cool. Instead of like putting like a gauge cluster here, a bunch of gauges, you got a tons of gauges just like built in. There's not really anything else you need. That's what's cool with this car is it comes with everything loaded of what you need. You got other gauges too. The boost pressure, air fuel ratio, intercooler temperature, and intake air temperature. This shows what the G-force I was telling you guys about. So if you're driving, you actually see the car turn angles and stuff. I don't really focus on that when I'm driving because you got to pay attention to the road. But then the cool thing, it has the engine, so it's kind of like puts it showing what gear you're in. This will have like the boost pressure, torque, and all that miles per hour. It's kind of cool. I've always wanted to kind of rig when I go on drag racing for something to somehow have this thing like show this screen up when you're driving, because it'd be kind of cool, you know, doing something. But it's been very hard to have this kind of like figure out a GoPro or something to be mounted there when you're driving. But this is kind of like the basics of what the gauges are. And I kind of figured to film this like red at dusk, so you guys really get to see how bright it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. May this get you, helping you figure out what you want to do if you want to buy a Hellcat. And I think the gauges would be the same too on a Charger 2017 Hellcat, because it'd be pretty much like the same. So that kind of gets you guys a breakdown. But if you're new to the channel, I'm Beowulf. I do all different types of videos. primarily we're doing jet ski videos on the channel. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're already a subscriber, man, hit that bell notification so you guys are notified too when a video gets posted if you're already a subscriber. So I'll see you guys back in the next video. Peace out.